First to the visiting Bobcats. A freshman forward, number 21, Devon Smith-Johnson. A sophomore guard, number 2, Garrett Corker. A junior guard, number 3, Brett McNeil. A junior forward, number 10, Larry Scott. And a junior center, not signed, Denali Burton. Bryant Stratton is coached by Michael Shoemaker. And now, the starters for your Husson University Eagles. A graduate student, for present day, number 0, Derek Collins. A guard, a junior, from Camarillo, California, number 3, Ryle Snepp. A senior from Thompson, Maine, number 22, Jared Balzer. That guard, a graduate student from Bangor, Maine, number 20, Luke Caruso. And that guard, a senior from Brooklyn, New York, number 1, Jeremy Morata. The head coach for Husson University in his 30th season is Warren Caruso. He is assisted by Will Taylor, John Clark, Justin Thompson, and Jay Thomas.
Welcome everybody inside the broadcast booth here at Newman Gymnasium. Ethan Moss alongside Caden Trenowith, ready and excited to bring you today's matchup between the Husson University Eagles and the visiting Bryant and Stratton Bobcats out of Albany, New York. The Bobcats coming into this one at 8-5 after the win last night at CMCC, and now a 5-game win streak entering today's contest, but it's going to be an interesting one.
Absolutely. This is a team that just got off a long road trip to Auburn, Maine, then played late last night, probably didn't get out of Auburn until 10:30, and traveling up today to play Husson. I'm sure they're tired. Some of their key contributors, including Devin Smith-Johnson, who's averaging 17 and 10, pretty much played the entire game last night. So it should be interesting. They don't have a deep bench like Husson, so it should be interesting to see how they play this one.
Yeah, I think that's going to play into a lot of how this game is played. Bryant and Stratton, typically a physical kind of team. They're going to play really into the paint and try and bully you out of the way of the basket. So we'll see how that long game last night plays into the contest today. The Eagles looking to get back on the right track, 14-3 overall, losing their last 2 games to SUNY Canton last weekend and Colby on Tuesday. Trying to set it around for the first time back in front of a home crowd since December 7th, that win over MMA. Riles Neff will take it off the tip-off straight into Balzer. We'll set it off to Maranta as he tries to feed into Balzer. Puts it off the glass for the easy 2 to open up the scoring.
I think the start is very important for both of these teams. I mean, you could see it in warm-ups for this Bryant and Stratton Bobcat team. You just tell they looked a little exhausted while running around and just shooting. Ball looked a little heavy in their hands.
Scott feeds into Burton, trying to get around Balzer, and does it behind the back of Balzer to get that one in. We're tied at 2 as Neff will take it up. Off to Maranta. Now swinging out to the graduate student in Collin. Here's Caruso back into the starting lineup for Andre McCauley. Sitting today's game, the freshman has started all games this season, so we'll see how the Eagles do without him. Here's Neff working inside on McNeil. Off the backboard, rolls down, rebounded by Burton. Here come the Bobcats back the other way. Here's Scott now working on Maranta. Back over to Burton. He'll take the 3. That one will fall short. Neff on the wing, quickly back into Maranta. Collin thought about it, going to drive in. Now to Balzer. Short shot, can't go. Collin can't get the second chance. And here come the Bobcats on the fast break. Neff, the only one back to stop it, gets it. And the Eagles get it right back. Here's Caruso pushing the pace over to Collin. Back to Caruso. Now into the corner. Collin thought about it again. Balls are top of the key. Will swing it back to Neff. And now under 15 on the shot clock. Maranta going to drive in on Corker. Shakes over to Caruso for 3 off the front of the rim. And rebounded by Burton.
Burton's doing really good defensively, closing out, making these shots kind of tough for Husson to make.
Scott, the jump back, can't get it to go. Now Neff gonna work inside, swings it back out. Caruso 4-3, can't get it to go again. And Burton there again for the board. Burton coming in at 6'6", is the only one who can really match up to the Eagles height-wise. Eagles have 3 players over that mark. One of them on the floor being Balzer. Trying to get it around Balzer off the top of the glass and collects his own rebound somehow. Burton can't get it to go, and the Eagles swarm under the basket to get that board. Here's Caruso now on the short wing. Neff going to drive in, trying to get around Burton. He's going to pull a Steph Curry and just going to take a nice little scenic trip into the paint. Here's Maranta, step back, can't get it to go. Scott with the rebound. These shots have just not fallen after that opening shot for the Eagles and Bobcats. Still tied 2-2, 3.5 minutes in. Here's McNeil, blocked from behind. Balzer gets up there, right back to him on defense. Now to Burton, back to McNeil, shakes Balzer, and that one will not fall. Second chance from Scott, gets it to go, and the Bobcats on top. Neff trying to direct some traffic as he gets it over to Caruso, now to Maranta. They get it to Balzer right at the free throw line. Collin will feed into Maranta, quick turnaround, can't get it. And Scott, a great job of getting Maranta out of there. Maranta's very difficult to contain in the paint on both sides of the ball. Sneaky athletic for the 6'1" guard. There's Burton working on Balzer, trying to get around, and they're going to call a travel. So early on, not a whole lot of shots falling, about what we would have expected, but the Eagles really trying to get back on a hot streak. Really have not had the best of luck in this one so far, but here's Neff to break that luck. Ties it back up at 4 with a quick cut inside.
I think that was an important basket right there. Just get something easy to fall. Try to switch the momentum for you. Good basket by Neff.
McNeil will get it over to Smith-Johnson, now back to Burton. McNeil has that one poked away by Caruso. Bobcats will keep it. Caruso catches McNeil napping. Got to be careful with the ball. Can't have a whole bunch of turnovers for the Bobcats. That's one of the things Coach Shoemaker for them has been focusing on. That one up and around, blocked, and they're going to call a foul on the Eagles. That will send McNeil to the line.
Eagles foul, number 3, Riles Neff.
I think back to the turnovers, that's going to be a big portion of the Bobcats game today, is trying to limit those against this Eagles defense that has been a very good defensive unit, especially with the rebounds. So limit those turnovers, keep the ball in your possession, and score as much as possible, and the Bobcats might find a way to stay in front of the Eagles. But again, the Eagles really trying to rebound, and this one, it feels like if you don't win by 20, then you haven't really won this game to get back on track. Neal's second shot. Rolls around and out, goes 1 for 2 at the line. Here comes Neff on the far side. Neff working the perimeter. Thinking about it, has yet to take a shot from outside of the paint. Here's Maranta, back to Caruso. This one rolls around. Neff tries to get it, but Burton gets around. Caruso gets back there, and that one will fall. Denali Burton on the fast break will continue to work the Eagles so far.
This is what the Bobcats team did effectively against Central Maine, force bad shots and then move quickly after the rebound. Saw it there. Good transition between defense to offense.
Neff tries a three, rolls around and out. Now here's Corker with it. Neff will slip around the screen, and a great stand on defense from Neff. Now Maranta on the fast break, going to give it off to Collin. Goes up and blocked from behind Burton. Here's Neff on the second chance. Great pass from Maranta. And the Eagles on the board again, 7-6 now, the lead for the Bobcats. Corker on Neff. Sticks with him, wide open three from Scott is good. Scott got lost in that transition and was all alone in the corner, but here's Maranta up and around. That one rolls out. Pushing the pace are the Bobcats. Here's Burton trying to go through Balzer. And that's going to be an offensive foul. Eagles will take it. Balzer was more than set there. As we'll have our first set of substitutions. Scott Lewis, we weren't sure if we were going to see him today. He's back in for the Eagles. Eric Ayler has been a big part of this Eagles team down the stretch these last few games. And Tope Alao back into the game as well. Alao has been a big piece for Coach Caruso. Here's Ehlers now. Going to hand off to Alao. Swings it over to Maranta. Eagles go small. Maranta tries to get it to go. Does everything in his power there, it seems. Quickly back the other way. That one almost blocked from behind by Ehlers, but Corker will get it to go. 12-6 now the lead for the Bobcats. Here's Alao in the corner. Shakes his man, and that's going to be a foul. That looked clean from our angle up here. But an offensive foul called. And a timeout called by Coach Caruso. We're going to step aside and be back here in 30 from Bangor. Back out of the break, the Bobcats will send in Clinton Thomas III and Kyle Brown Jr. into their lineup. Neal takes a rest, as well as Scott. Here's Burton driving in around Lewis, blocked from behind, tries to keep with the handle, and the Eagles will have it. And they're going to say it went out of bounds off of Burton. Here's Alao now with it. Over to Neff. Neff is going to try to slip around back to Alao. Into the corner for Maranta. Not going to shoot that. The Eagles really working on that perimeter. Shot clock now inside 10. Maranta gets it back to Ehlers. That one's blocked. Ehlers can't get the pass off, or block the pass. Burton can't get it to go. Maranta gets that rebound. Here come back the Eagles. Neff tried to get that to Lewis, who wasn't as close as he thought. Alao now in the corner. This is getting chaotic. Ehlers will calm it down, gets it over to Lewis. Now Maranta going to drive in. Floater won't go. And Burton has it for the Bobcats. Quickly over Clinton Thomas in the corner. Trying to get around Ehlers. Ehlers with a lot of length is going to show that off. Tough basket inside to Corker, gets it to go.
This is how the Bobcats were playing last night. Forced tough shots, move down the court in first 15 seconds of the shot clock, try to get a shot up. Play a really fast pace type of basketball. Husson really seems to be struggling so far with that.
It's no surprise to see Caruso go with the smaller lineup after Collin and Balzer leaving the first portion of this game. So trying to match up that speed, you would think, and maybe outmatch them shooting-wise. The Bobcats not the greatest from beyond the arc in comparison to the Eagles, but they can still knock them down. The Eagles have been unsuccessful so far. That's got to turn around if the Eagles want to make a run at this one. Already down 6 here, just about 10.5 left to play. Of course, we mentioned Lewis. We weren't sure if we were going to see him today, so might expect those minutes to be limited. Might see a little bit more of Kyle O'Hare as this game wears on.
How about Burton for these Bobcats, though? Said his name a lot already in the first half. He's averaging just under 3 blocks per game for this Bobcats side. He already has 2 tonight. He's really shutting down that paint, not allowing any of the Eagles to attack the rim.
Taking a well-deserved rest is Burton. Here's Kyle Brown going to drive in. Can't get it to go. Lewis has the rebound. Now Maranta going to push the pace to Ehlers in the corner. Pull up. And can't get it. Eagles have been hitting nothing but front iron, it seems. Starting to see some signs of the Newman Gymnasium coming alive. But it's been a little slow today. Driving in and can't get it. Runs over Lewis, who's just looking for a foul. Going to get back in the play and get the block. Maranta will take that tough contact. And it'll stay with the Eagles. Caruso will come in for Maranta. Foul was assessed to Kyle Brown, Jr. of the Bobcats. Here's Caruso. Now Neff still deep, will feed it into Lewis, gets it back to Ehlers. Allow inside, can't turn around quick enough. Back to the perimeter now as Ehlers gonna drive in. Working against Corker, gets it to go. Tough basket from Eric Ehlers. Puts Corker through the cycle, and now a 4-point game. Here's Thomas working on Neff. Looking for an outlet, and that one's blocked, called for a travel anyway. Eagles get the ball right back. This feels like one of those turning points in the game. You've had a couple of empty trips for the Bobcats. The Eagles gone back the other way, just got a basket, got to knock down another one, and this momentum kind of shifts. Here's a Lau, loses his footing, but keeps the handle, but will be called for a travel. Almost got that off to Lewis in time, but took that other step just a hair too late. Here's Brown Jr. working on Caruso. Scott, top of the key, takes the 3. That one's way off, and it'll be an Eagles ball. Lewis hands it off to Caruso. Back to Allow. Thought about the 3, going to drive in. Pull up. Off the glass and in. Allow will knock it down for his first points of this contest. And it's 14-12. Smith-Johnson swings it over to Corker. Going to drive in back to Smith-Johnson for the 3. Can't get it. That one rolls around. Eagles ball. That was Thomas going up to try to get it over Allow. And couldn't come down with it, and it rolls out of bounds. Neff going to drive in. Now to allow for the three. Off the back iron. Neff tips it. Allows there to collect it. Great job by Neff. Now into the corner for Ehlers for three and gets it. That was an awkward shot from Ehlers, but it works nonetheless, and the Eagles back on top for the first time since the opening minute.
That was a tough basket, hand in the face, kind of looked like a broken play. Ehlers did a good job keeping himself composed, knocking it down.
Here's Brown driving that one. A floater off the glass, can't get it. Caruso gets that rebound. Now allow to Lewis off the backboard, can't get it. Now quickly going back the other way is Corker. The Eagles have numbers, but Corker on a good spin move gets it off the glass. And it's 16-15. Neff to Caruso. Now quick feed into Lewis. Lewis trying to drive in, couldn't get that call. And off the glass, no call on that. Back the other way is Thomas. Pulls up off the front iron. Neff with a quick rebound. Back to Ehlers. Trying to ride the hot hand, and Ehlers is fouled. He's going to go to the line. Ehlers will take a trip to the line. Not in the motion of shooting. Oh, he is going to. Never mind. That looked a little confusing for a second. See, there's no way he wasn't in the motion of shooting there. So Ehlers will take a trip to the line. He sings the first one to tie it up. Burton will come back for the Bobcats, as well as Maranta. Collins going to come in just a second. Ehlers will go 2 for 2. Eagles back on top. And their first trip to the line as Collin comes in for Ehlers. Here's Thomas on the far side. Long pass into Scott. Tries to get it. And we're going to play seesaw here in this second 10 minutes of the first quarter, this first half. Lau will swing it over to Maranta. A little shake and bake, going to drive in. Back to Caruso, now to Lau for three. That one will miss. Thomas is there to collect it. Now pushing the pace to the far side for Burton, working on Caruso. Got that size mismatch he wants, can't get it. Balzer with the rebound. Maranta coming back quickly the other way, going to go over the top, off the backboard and in. Maranta does that so well, always consistent with it. Now, Caden, with this one flipping back and forth the last few minutes, and you know what really makes the difference between these two teams? What's going to cause a team to pull away?
I think it comes down to one word, and it's grit. I feel like we've seen it a lot. The paint battle is going to be very important. But not only that, the Eagles have to play it safe at the same time. If they miss a shot and this Bobcat team comes down with it, they're pushing the pace, pushing the floor immediately. It's going to make it very challenging. It's where your preseason conditioning really comes in handy. Got to get back, force this Bobcat team to put up tough shots. They're not a great shooting team at all.
Here's Neff back quickly the other way. Balzer trying to go up over the top and is rejected. Burton got up there. Could see why he averages a few blocks a game. That one poked away by Smith Johnson as here comes Brown back the other way. Scott will slow it back down as he gets it out to Thomas. But to your point, I think Coach Caruso has to walk that line between matching up athletically and matching up size-wise. You got to keep Balzer, Lewis, O'Hare on the floor to match up with Burton. As that three-point attempt from Scott will roll around and miss, but you've got to also match up athletically, so you got to walk that fine line to give yourself the best chance of success. Here's Neff going to drive in, open lane, met at the rim, and he'll go to shoot two. Burton picks up his second foul. It's another thing we're going to have to keep an eye on is the fouls for Burton. 2 fouls, and we're not out of this opening half.
And losing him to the bench is a big loss. They don't have a lot of size past him. So getting him out of the game will be very effective for the Eagles. Not something you'd like to see if you're a Bobcat.
Neff goes 1 for 2 at the line as Scott is able to collect that rebound for the Bobcats. Here's McNeil with it. Back into the game. Working on Neff. Straightaway three is knocked down by Thomas in the face of Balzer as well. Nothing really going offensively for the Bobcats there, just decides to take it. Here's Neff, jumper of his own, gets that one. Eagles trying to settle in defensively. Have had a little bit of a rough time characteristically to start off this one. But have locked down a little better. Right as I say that, foul called on Neff.
The broadcasting curse, Ethan.
I seem to be exceptionally good at it. Devon Smith-Johnson will go to the line.
He's another one. When Burton's on the bench, and if he does get into foul trouble late in this game, Smith-Johnson, freshman that can pop off at any point, averaging 17 and 10.
You know, Smith-Johnson is listed at 6'2", but from our layman's perspective up here in the booth, he's looking about the same height, if not taller, than Amari Scott, who's listed at 6'4". So I think Smith-Johnson may be towards the 6'5", 6'6" range as well, which puts him up there with Burton. Maranta tries the tough basket. That's high off the top of the glass, and here comes Smith-Johnson quickly in, working on Balzer, and he'll go to shoot two. We'll go to discuss that briefly, but it will be assessed to Balzer. Just his first. Been able to stay out of the foul trouble for the Eagles, has the senior. But nevertheless, looks like he's coming out for Lewis. Still a long discussion regarding this foul call.
Is it going to be a technical?
He's going to assess it as a technical. This is the first one. And misses 2 free throws. Uncharacteristic out of Scott, shooting at 76% on the year.
He was hot last night too against CM, 5 threes. I think he's only hit 1 tonight, an air ball, now 2 missed free throws for him.
On the one hand, it is not surprising to see the Bobcats come out firing and able to keep up with the Eagles in the early going, but like you're mentioning with last night, long game, long travel, long road trip, it's going to play into how they've played down the stretch, especially in that second half. So we'll see how the Eagles match up there. The Eagles very fresh, haven't played since Tuesday.
And this is a well-coached team too. Shoemaker brought this team to a national championship in his first season, got him to the Final Four in his first season, 30 and 19 record. 2 players he's coached have gone professional, as well as getting 1 on a D2 scholarship. So he's done great things for this Bobcat program.
Lewis gets it to go and the foul. It is very fun when we get these great coaching matchups, especially between a younger coach like Shoemaker and, no offense to Coach Caruso, maybe the old heads. Been around for 30 years, maybe you do get to deserve that sometimes. But a well-coached team running into Caruso's Eagles. So here goes Corker off of Lewis. Ehlers with the rebound. Steal right back. Here goes Smith-Johnson over the top. Exclamation point on that possession. Here's Collin inside, double teamed. And they'll get the ball back on the foul by Scott. We actually assessed that to Trent McNeil. Quick inbound to Maranta, basically to himself. Here's Ehlers gonna try to drive in. Swings it out to Caruso, thought about the three, now Maranta. You really got to get Maranta going as Ehlers loses the handle. McNeil with some quick hands there. Here goes Corker back the other way, around and in.
He's made a couple of tough layups. Corker has done a great job when he getting downhill to the basket, getting off a finish.
This is a defense that is quick to the ball for the Bobcats. Not as many open looks as the Eagles are used to getting. Here's Maranta off the glass, can't get it. Rebounded by Smith-Johnson. And the Eagles will keep it off of the held ball. Good awareness there from Maranta to get his hands on it as quickly as he could. Keeps the possession in favor of Husson. Ehlers slips out. Puts it up, tough jumper in with two men on him. Would like to see that get passed back out. Caruso is just about to wiggle his way open, but back the other way as McNeil has it, gonna direct some traffic, gets it over to Corker. Drives in, spin move, layup, got it. What a tough play from Aaron Corker. Here's Collin gonna cut in, off the glass, gets that one. Eagles will answer back. Now within three as we go under 40 left to play in this first half. Corker again, this time can't get it to go, held ball. Holding actually will be called.
I'm interested to see if this Bobcat team can play a full game like this. They've pushed the ball so well, so aggressive on defense, very quick on offense. Sometimes when you see that out of a team, it's the first 10 minutes adrenaline. Very interested to see if they can do this throughout the second half as well, because the Eagles are definitely struggling with it.
Second chance points there from Scott as it's back up to 5, inside 15 left to play. Shoemaker's getting really animated on the sideline. He wants this lead coming into the second half. Ehlers will miss a three, and they're going to come back the other way. One more chance as Smith-Johnson gets it to go at the buzzer. The quick pass over to Thomas. And the Bryant and Stratton Bobcats up big at the half. Up by 7, 34-27. Eagles got a lot to think about there in the locker room. We'll be back with the second half in just about 15 minutes here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Back here out of the breaks, Ethan Moss alongside Caden Trenoweth here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. 34-27 the lead for the visiting Bobcats of Bryant and Stratton University. On top of the Eagles at home. Eagles got to play a little bit quickly, a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more fire here in the second half. They want to continue to compete in this game. And that's a great start from Jeremy Maranta. Gets it to roll in over the top of Trent McNeil.
He was held so quiet in that first half. Someone who basically runs the offense. Only 2 points for him, 1 for 8 shooting. I think that was an important bucket for him. Come out the gates, get an easy bucket like that.
Now here's Burton in the corner working through Balzer again. Lots of contact, still gets it to fall. Caruso thought about that pull-up three. Now Neff gonna shake the defender and rattle down a three. Riles Neff, first shot of the second half, knocks it down from deep. McNeil gets around the full court press and right into Caruso. That one goes out of bounds. It'll stick with the Bobcats. Corker will inbound. Corker, one of 2 Bobcats who had a great first half, shooting 5 of 9. In the hands of Amari Scott now. Trying to get a floater over the top for Burton. Knocks that one down. 38-34. 6 points ahead are the Bobcats. Neff just hands that one over to Corker. Now on the fast break. Loses the handle out of bounds. That'll stay with the Bobcats. So we're going to say that was Colin that poked that out. Inbounded to McNeil on the perimeter. Going to sling it into Burton. Burton driving, turns around, gets it. Burton been doing that all day. Able to work in on Balzer, then turn around and knock it down. Now here's Neff going to work against the big man.
Burton's 3 for 3 since coming out of the break. He might become a problem here very quickly for this Eagle team.
Eagles not able to really get inside. Tough defense from the Bobcats. Balzer nowhere really to go, but gets fouled. He'll go to shoot 2 as that one just misses wide. Balzer shooting at about 68% this year. Another foul on Burton, his third. Balzer 2 for 2. Here's Scott with it, gonna direct some traffic. Eagles again showing that full court press. Bobcats having a tough time getting around. Now they'll feed it in. Corker breaks free, having trouble with the handle, gets it back out. Now here's Scott. Back to McNeil. We're gonna call the shots here. McNeil trying to get around Neff, now inside, pulls up. That one rolls around, rebounded by Balzer. Feet are gonna get tangled up, but gets it out to Caruso. Now Neff in the corner, back to Maranta, gonna drive in. Inside Caruso, now Colin for 3. That one just short. And able to escape that mayhem. Corker now on the fast break. Around Balzer, foul. And no shot. As Corker will go to the line. Has not been the greatest there. 38% for the sophomore. And this is the first off the front rim. Eagles definitely doing a better job of matching that physicality, matching that energy in that in the second half. That stems a lot from the senior guard over there wearing number 1, and Jeremy Maranta. He's the kind of guy that plays quick, plays hard. Quickly around to Caruso for 3. That one off back iron. Maranta still has it, working through the double team, tipped. Caruso thought about it again, decides now back out to Maranta. Balzer turnaround, got it. That looked like a better, calm, collected offensive possession from the Eagles.
That was that nice ball movement that we normally see from them. That time, finally opening up a shot.
Neff comes from behind, plays pickpocket. Now he's got to get around Burton off the glass, can't get it. Balzer gets the rebound, gonna fight with it, turn around off the backboard, kept it alive, and finally in the hands of Smith Johnson. But Neff with the steal. There's Maranta gonna play pickpocket this time. Quick hands like we have come to expect. 3-ball from Caruso, got it. Back within 2 are the Eagles, and Coach Shoemaker is gonna take a timeout for the Bobcats. Letting up a run to the Eagles, now back within 2 for the first time since the opening minutes. We're gonna step aside, be back here in 30. Back out of the break, the Eagles looking a little bit better and more like the Eagles we're used to seeing this year. Looking more like that team that is leading the nation in some of these categories. Assists per game in the top 25, 7th in rebounds per game, 45 is their average, especially doing really well in that defensive category, 3rd in defensive rebounds with 32. So this is a team for your consideration, the D3 Hoops Committee. Right now trailing by 2 to Bryant Stratton. Quick hands of Maranta going to disrupt this play. Corker will get out of the trap and into another one, but they finally will break free into their own offensive side. Here's Burton now with it against Balzer. Now, big part about that, shot clock's already at 10, and the Bobcats haven't really had an open look yet. This one poked away. Here's the defense from the Eagles. Here's Colin over to Neff. Quick basket and good. Riles Neff lays it in to tie it back up, 41-41. Bobcats get around the trap this time. This place has a little bit more life in it. Here's Scott back to McNeil. Smith Johnson gets it away to Corker, trying to work around that one. That's on the bench. Kyle Brown is not on the floor. Turnover goes back to the Eagles.
I think we might be starting to see that tiredness, the fatigue start to set in. What was that, 4 trips down the floor for this Bobcat team that ended in a turnover?
Here's Neff working on Corker, decides to shoot it off the front iron. Eagles keep it alive somehow. And they'll stick with it, a fresh shot clock. Now under 15. Maranta keeps it alive inside to Balzer, off the glass. Eagles back on top. The signature of Balzer, but all Maranta on that one. Here's Burton. Tried to get around Balzer. Too short. Caruso collects that one. Eagles coming back quickly the other way. Razzle dazzle, can't get it, but a foul on Colin. Maranta went with the behind the back no look pass to Colin, who will shoot two. We saw Maranta do that inside pass, the no look pass to Balzer a few weeks ago. I believe that was the St. Joe's game. Highlight reel shot and play. Colin shooting at 57%, knocks down the first one. Up to 3 points now. Two for two for Colin. Eagles make this 4-point game. This one goes high. We're going to go up and get it. Here comes back Colin to Maranta to Neff. And can't get it. Just going to jump everywhere, are we? We need some help from the big man. Balzer gets back. Maranta's going to call it down. Caruso straightaway three. Off the back iron. Heard a collective gasp there as this place was ready to explode if Caruso hits that. Great run for the Eagles right now, has them back on top. Maybe that late night starting to catch up to the Bobcats. Offensive foul called on Corker. Eagles will have it back, getting a chance to continue this run as Ehlers is going to come back in for Balzer. So you play Ehlers at the 5 here. Working as the big man, you could say, to really try to stretch this floor now. Here's Neff, rejected at the top, kept alive. What a play from Scott. Now here's Corker with it on the wing, gets around Maranta. Eagles back there quickly on defense. Brown trying to work around Neff, gets it back over to Smith Johnson, who takes the three, front iron. And Maranta with the board. Loses the handle. Here comes Thomas back the other way, lays it in. A rare miscue is going to end that run.
Was Collins in bounds there?
I think that's what they're going to call it, is Colin in bounds. So a chance to tie this one right back up, or even take the lead for the Bobcats. A couple of mistakes from the Eagles has them right back in it. Straightaway three, got it. Amari Scott feeling himself today, having himself a good day. 10 points is his average. He's up to 9 on his second three of the day. Here's Caruso. Now inside, back to Ehlers. Gonna drive out. Neff behind the back. Oh yeah, that was beautiful. Riles Neff. A little bit of shake and bake there to get that one to go. Caruso, quick hands, comes up and gets it on the steal. Off the glass and in. Oh yeah, and the foul. Caruso's gonna go to the line. Caruso, a lot of awareness there to come up to get the ball. The quick basket draws the foul. 3-point play. Chance right here for the Eagles. Caruso shooting 50% from the line, but a limited sample size for the senior. That one rolls around and out, rebounded by Smith Johnson. Allow with the quick pressure on that.
This second half has been all about momentum right now. We saw it for the Eagles. They went on a huge stretch there. Bobcats got a little bit of a comeback in them. Now the Eagles taking back over.
McNeil's going to slow it down with a fresh shot clock, trying to get around Caruso. Another 3-ball from Scott. Can't get this one this time. Ehlers with the rebound keeps it alive. Now here's Neff. Behind the back. Oh, another one from Neff. Playing like it's a highlight tape the last couple of possessions has the junior. 51-46. Eagles up on top. Now into the trap is Thomas, and he gets free. Trying to go all the way to the basket. This one picked up by Smith Johnson, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's been a long rest for Burton, but it looks like he's going to come back in after this first shot. Eagles will respond by sending up Lewis.
I think that's a smart substitution by Coach Shoemaker there. Riles Neff is getting hot with his layup package that we see so much from him. Putting the big man in there. Who already has 3 or 4 blocks tonight. Make it a blockade.
Definitely set up for that, but again, we got to keep an eye on the foul counter for Burton as well. He's at 3 so far. Eagles now with Allow on the far side. Lewis sticks with Burton, gets the ball from Allow, going to hand off to Neff. Going to try to ride this hot hand. That pass almost poked away by Scott. There's Allow behind the back, out of bounds, and ball goes to the Bobcats. We're going to have a discussion about this. Looked very clearly off of the hands of Burton. And readjusting that call, Eagles will keep it off the hands of Burton, out of bounds is what we'll go with. Here's Ehlers, gives it off to Neff. Back to Ehlers. 4 seconds on the shot clock as that one goes off rim. Fighting for it now on the fast break. Here goes Corker. Neff is there to meet him. Off the backboard and in. Corker with a quick deuce for the Bobcats. Just under 10 left to play. Approaching the 9-minute mark. Eagles still up by 2. Here's Neff. Reach in, and a foul called on Burton. That's going to be his 4th. He's going to go right back to the bench, is what it seems like from Shoemaker. Clinton Thomas going to come back in. That's a huge foul at this point in the game. Here's Allow on Scott. Ehlers going to drive in, using that physicality to shake his defender, but can't hit the shot. Now quickly Thomas around, and a foul called on Caruso. Basket waved off. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. Smith Johnson inbounds to McNeil. Gonna drive in around Lewis. Gets his hand up there. Good block from Lewis. Here's Neff. Gonna take it up the court behind the back. And loses the handle, out of bounds. Gonna stick with Bryant Stratton. Neff knows that was a big possession for the Eagles. Of course, every possession has been a big possession, it seems.
Especially in this second half. Both teams just can't find a way to pull away fully, really close out the game. Both teams just hanging in there.
Allow draws the rebound and breaks free. Lays it in. Eagles going to go back to that full court press, trying to trap. Almost got it there. Lewis back to meet him. It's going to be an easy offensive foul called. Neff beyond set as Smith Johnson comes barreling in. Only the second for Devon Smith Johnson. So he is beyond good for the rest of this game. We're going to keep an eye on Burton on the bench, see when he starts to show some activity to get back in this one. He will at some point. Here goes Neff inside. Good move, gets it off the glass. Another tough layup by Riles Neff, and another timeout called on the side of the Eagles. We're going to step aside for 60 seconds here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. It's a 6-point advantage for the Eagles, 7:31 left on the clock here at Newman Gymnasium. Ethan Moss alongside Caden Trenowith. Got a good finish coming our way in these final 7.5 minutes. Been back and forth so far. Bryant and Stratton been dominant in the paint, getting some great fast breaks and really limiting those turnovers, which is going to be a key to their success today. They've done that so far. The Eagles still up on top by 6 in a close one. Here's Scott on the far side. Nowhere really to go with it. Gets it into Smith Johnson. Trying to get around Lewis. Now quickly out to Thomas. Got to take this shot. Puts it up. Off the back of the glass. No good. Rebounded by Ehlers. Here goes Neff. And a foul called on the defense. Eagles will keep it underneath the basket. Oh, that puts them in the bonus, rather. That sends Neff to the line. Moronto will come back into the game for Lau. Neff already up past his average 20 points so far on the day, averaging 19.5. Ehlers gets that basket, gets that rebound, and can't get the second chance. Coming quickly is Thomas, getting around Caruso, can't get it, but the foul. And that will send Thomas to the line for 2.
Coach Shoemaker for the Bobcats is fired up out there.
For a second there, I thought he was leaving the gym, but he's just getting a sip of water.
Yeah, I figured he'd need that. He was giving the ref an earful. Throat's probably dry.
Thomas goes 1 for 2. Still a 6-point game for the Eagles. Neff trying to stay hot, drives in, slings it out to Caruso for 3. Off the back iron, Lewis can't get the rebound. Smith Johnson did a great job boxing him out there. This one no good from Thomas. Neff is there to collect it, trying to get around as he runs into the trap. But Caruso there on the far side to clean it up. This one, quick pass inside, tried to get it to Ehlers, but good hands from Corker. He goes back the other way. Neff there to meet him. Draws the foul. Corker will go to the line. Neff also with 3 fouls on the day, 20 points. Corker shooting at 38%, misses the first one to the pleasure of the crowd off to our right. And the second one misses left. They're going to say Eagles jumped early on that one.
Yeah, I think it's a lane violation on Ehlers. Looked like he had an early jump on it.
Game like this, you can't do that on a missed free throw. We don't want to give him a second chance. Sinks that one. Burton looks anxious to get back in on that bench. Switch to Ehlers. Maranta long pass into Lewis. Almost had that one taken away. And that'll stay with the Eagles. Almost had that one taken away by Scott. Now is when we really start to see that fatigue play in. They're not quite getting to the ball as quick as they were in that first half, are the Bobcats. Neff around Lewis, blocked. Lewis again, blocked again. And finally a foul called on Lewis. He'll go to the line. But about 3 second chances there.
Not just fatigue either. What about seniority? This Eagles team, a lot more depth in the junior, senior positions than this Bobcat team, so only has 4 combined between their senior and junior groups, only 1 senior on the team. I feel like that has to come in big late down the stretch when it comes down to the coaching adjustments in the final 2 minutes of play.
Yeah, absolutely. You get familiar with your coach, familiar with the team around you, and then you really start to trust those decisions. A younger player, maybe not familiar, might not trust it as much, might not play into it as much, and then it doesn't work out so well. But here's Thomas with it, the freshman guard. Slings it over to Smith-Johnson, and now inside. Blocked from behind, but a foul. Lewis had a clean block, and a foul, I believe, is going to be called on Caruso on the inside of that one. Caruso's 3rd foul as well. But to your point, the current lineup on the floor is freshman, sophomore, senior, junior, freshman. In comparison to the Eagles, it's junior, senior, senior, sophomore, senior. Here's the junior Neff on the near side. Going to direct some traffic as he gets it over to Caruso. Here's some better ball movement from the Eagles. Going to sling it all around. Lewis back out. Neff is there to collect it. That was a little messy. Ehlers for 3 off the front iron and rebounded by the Bobcats. Here comes Corker pushing the pace. And now they'll settle in with McNeil. Now they're really playing the outside, not driving in. They're going to waste a lot of shot clock here. Inside 10. Here goes Smith-Johnson, going to try to drive in around Lewis. Lots of contact, kept it alive. Thought he had a foot out of bounds. But that basket is good. Here goes Maranta quickly back the other way. Going to get fouled. And one. Gets the shot to fall and is going to take a trip to the line. Maranta shooting at 66%. He gets the 3rd foul on McNeil. Chance to go up back by 6 here, under 5 left to play. Completes the three-point play, and here comes back in Denali Burton for Clinton Thomas as a response. Here comes Balzer for the Eagles as well. Burton going to slip under that sort of full court press from the Eagles. As here's McNeil working on Caruso, going to sling it back to Smith Johnson. Collin right in his face as he gets it away to Burton. Balls are sticking right on Burton. Tough basket, no good. Maranta collects the rebound and gets it away to Neff. Long pass over to Caruso. And the Eagles will slow it down. Neff didn't like that shot that he had, gave it away, gets it back. Now Balzer, still on the outside, is trying to work his way in. Got to put this one up with 2 left. Off the glass, but a foul. And Neff is going back to the line. Trent McNeil draws another foul, or commits another foul, rather. It's his 4th. Neff knocks down the first one. Second one good as well. (62-55), 3:15 left to play. Trent McNeil with it. 4 fouls for the junior guard. Gonna push it into Burton. Burton getting around Balzer. Can't get it. And the second chance from Corker, plus the foul, will send him to the line. And call that foul on Balzer. It's gotten very congested in the lane in the latter half of this game. 2 or 3 players on each possession. Bad miss from Corker on that free throw.
Also feels like every time the play goes to the paint, it's always just some broken play. The ball gets tipped up 5 different times. 5 different people get the rebound.
There's Caruso, pull-up jumper off the rim, rebounded by Burton. Coming back the other way to Smith Johnson, who will not decide to go through Caruso. Smith Johnson now on Collin. Balzer trying to help with that. Burton takes the straightaway 3 and knocks it down. 63-60 as the Bobcats making some noise late in this one. Now down by 3 with 2 minutes left to play. Here's Neff. Timeout called. Bryant and Stratton are going to talk something over here, try to fire up their squad now within 3. 2 minutes left to play. Eagles got to try to stay on top to improve it to 15-3. The Bobcats trying to go to 9-5 and make this a perfect Maine road trip. Back out of the break. Eagles on top by 3. Got a good finish on its way from Bangor. Maranta to inbound to Collin. Eagles with possession, fresh shot clock. Caruso, top of the key, gives it off. That ball movement that we didn't really see the first about 15 minutes of this game really showing up here in the last 5. Maranta behind the back knocks it down. Neal gives off to Scott, trying to work around Maranta. Size mismatch doesn't work in the favor of Scott as he gets free though. Off the glass, tried it around Balzer, but the big man gets the board. And the Eagles will get it back, 1:10 left on the clock. Neff gonna dribble that one out. Eagles in the driver's seat of this one. Here's Balzer, off the glass. Balzer has had a nice day above his season average as well. Pull up from McNeil. That one's good. That one's going to be a deep 2, it looks like. Foot was on the line. Referees are going to discuss this one. It's going to go down as a 2. So Corker pulled up just a little too late. That was McNeil, rather. Pulled up just a little late. This better not be another Kevin Durant shoe situation.
That is a big-time call late in this game. Thought that was going to be a clutch 3 by McNeil.
That would have been a big one had that one been for 3. But what we believe was the right call with his foot being on the line. Of course, Coach Shoemaker is going to make his case for a 3.
As he has to. He's got to get his team fired up here. Now down 6.
No choice but the
seconds
foul.
left.
Yeah. Got to score points quick. Done a good job of keeping Burton quiet since he's come back into this game. But they give it right back to him. He's going to stay along the perimeter, take that 3. Why not? Gets it to go. This just got a little more interesting. They get it away. Here's Maranta, still free, still not fouled. That one going to dribble it away, tries to throw it off. He's telling the referee he was in the motion of shooting there, but I don't think he's going to make much of a case with that one. It's always worth a shot, right? But Maranta will go to the line. And that takes Corker out of the game as his 5th. Thomas comes back in for him. Maranta hits the first. Maranta goes 1 for 2. The Bobcats collect the rebound, coming quickly the other way. 3 ball from Thomas is good. Maranta fouled. This just got really interesting. Back-to-back 3s from the Bobcats. Has them within 20 seconds. And Maranta's going to the line again. Got to knock down both of these. Both teams in the bonus as well. There's the first one. Gets the second one as well.
This Bobcat team has made more 3s. Just check the stats. They've made more 3s in the last minute than they have the entire game.
Here's McNeil going to try to drive in, lays it up. That one not good. Balzer got that one away to Neff. And another foul. See McNeil just exhausted on the court as well. Riles Neff will go to the line to seal it. That one got a little nervy at the end. Neff will go 2 for 2 as well. 74-68 with 8 left. As McNeil pushes it up the court, here's Burton. Gonna drive in, throws it down. Inbounded again to Collin. That one will expire the clock. Bobcats try to make a good one of this one late. After being up early, the Eagles battle back and kick off some rust to remain undefeated at home. They improve to 14-3 on the season, 5-0 at home. They'll be back in action here versus UMaine Presque Isle on Tuesday, the 23rd at 5:30. Bryant and Stratton will return back home where they are 1-2 in Albany. Final score of this one, 74-70. Wasn't the prettiest, Caden, but, you know, you get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. I think coming off 2 losses, you'll just take a win. No matter the outcome. I mean, would you have liked to win in blowout fashion in front of your home crowd? Absolutely. 4-point gritty win. I feel like that's going to be a lot bigger on the confidence moving forward, especially coming off 2 losses.
Absolutely. So when they're back in action against Umpy, we're going to expect a nice, great game out of the Eagles. Another long rest for them as well. And this team continues to be towards the top of the North Atlantic Conference right now, sitting at 2nd behind SUNY Morrisville, still unbeaten in conference play. And we're going to see how that one plays down the stretch to determine who hosts the North Atlantic Conference tournament for the playoffs here in about a month. Pretty excited for that one. I think it's going to be a great tournament. Here in a couple of months, we get ready for that one. But 74-70, the final score. Eagles taking this one over the Bobcats. For Ethan Moss and Caden Trenoweth, want to thank you for tuning in today.